you know, you take a day off work, you chill, it's hot outside, and of course, when it gets to 7 o'clock at night, you think nothing else could happen. And then we get a Raid Shadow Legends, what's coming next? And it's not just any old Raid Shadow Legends, what's coming next? We have got a juicy Raid Shadow Legends, what's coming next? So, let's react. Hey guys, Saf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. We got a what's next in Raid Shadow Legends, so let's watch it live and let's see what we're getting coming soon.
Hey everyone, just like we promised,
hey guys.
Our What's
hey
Next
everyone.
in Raid series is back on track. It's been a long wait, but don't
Awakening.
worry, we're sure you're going to love what's in store. Let's start with the big stuff. Introducing Awakening.
Okay.
We've been working on
so Awakening, you're thinking, oh god, please not 7-star champions. We don't want to go through that champion training event. Hopefully that's not what we're getting here, because dear god, can you imagine doing six stars? Anyone who's been doing referral champions right now is probably like, please no, don't.
on this for a while, and we're finally ready to share an overview.
Ooh, look at that. Altar of Salt. It does feel a little bit out of place though, right? I mean, what are we going to do at Christmas time? Where's Kale going to ice skate? Got a bit of a problem there.
With you. Awakening is a huge feature, and there's a ton to explore and experiment with. Think of it like we took the best parts of
What is that? A skeleton?
Masteries and Ascension, then mashed them together for some tasty raid goodness.
Glowing
I'll tell you how
orbs.
it works in a minute, but first let me tell you why you should care. Awakening your champions lets them align to a divinity of your choosing.
Okay, this is great. First things first, we don't have to do 6-star champions. Thank the Lord. That would have been horrific. Thank you, Plarium, for recognizing that would have been a bad mistake. So what are these like red stars actually going to mean?
To get blessings that will help them in battle. These blessings are like super powered passive skills that boost stats and give your champions some crazy benefits and effects.
Wow.
We're talking calling in a Reaper to finish off your
Say what?
enemies, stacking lightning orbs that protect your buffs and strike your targets down, a floating ring of bones that spawns from the corpses of allies and summons a mace-wielding undead skeleton to charge at the bad guys, a giant flaming boulder that smites your enemies from the heavens, and the terrifying, tortuous...
There's a sheep. Okay, like, everyone in chat, no Welsh jokes. But why is there a dancing sheep in Raid Shadow Legends?
Field sheep. And breathe. As you can see...
Oh, he doesn't dance it. Why is there a sheep in Raid Shadow Legends?
We've got a lot of new, unique mechanics here. But there's also a ton of blessings to play into the
Oh, that's just cruel. You kill the sheep? Come on.
mechanics you're already familiar with. We can't wait to see all the awesome combos you come up with to put these blessings to good use. We'll cover them in more detail in a future video, but now you know why you want to awaken your champions. Let's talk about how, starting...
Okay, so basically what we're going to have here is a system where instead of empowering champions further, good, just more stats is never going to solve the problem anymore, as we see with +4s and everything else like that. They're basically creating a system by which you can add an effect or a new impact to different things to your champions, which changes the way you play them. And those are going to be gained from Awakening. We'll have a look probably. I think maybe it'll talk a bit more detail. But this is good because what it means is it gives us more diversification that doesn't necessarily lead to stat creep. That's the biggest problem we've got in Raid at the moment right now. When you add in Faction Guardians, when you add in Empowerment, when you add in all the Great Hall bonuses, you just end up in a stat burden that you just can't overcome against really, really high-powered teams, which is important for the context of Arena that they've been talking about.
From the top at the Iron Twins Fortress. Before you awaken your champions, you'll have to head here to get the items you'll need. This
Guys, the Void Tower is being released. What year is it? Is it 2019?
is a brand new dungeon, and it works a little differently. It's divided up into affinities. Every day, the affinity will change, meaning the affinity of the boss inside it will change. There'll be 15 stages when the dungeon first goes live, but progress is individual and unique to each affinity. This means if you reach stage 15 on Magic Affinity, you'll still have to work your way up to that stage on Force, Spirit, and Void. There will be a regular schedule for which affinity is open on which day, so you can plan ahead. It's similar to...
Okay, so that's identical to Potion Keeps by the looks of it, if not the same. So that'll be open all the time, every day with different affinities.
the affinity keeps, but in this case, it's all in one dungeon. In addition, raiding the fortress will require both energy and a fortress key, and you'll get a limited number of keys every day, so make sure you use them. Okay, new dungeon.
So if there's going to be keys, that means we're going to be capped on the amount of points acquisition we can get in terms of, like, looks like that currency. We don't know what we're going to spend that currency on. Let's be curious to see if we're going to be able to buy the currency.
Obviously a new boss.
Okay, so we got new boss, Iron Twins. I'm just going to back this up a little bit so we can have a little quick read. We got attacks one enemy, places a 30% decreased crit rate for 4 turns. This is its default ability. Places a weaken on targets under decreased crit rate. Attacks all enemies except the initial target. Places a 50% decreased attack on all enemies. And places a decreased defense on all enemies under decreased attack. So that basically means if you get 2 attacks, you're going to get everything. If you just get the 1 attack, you'll just get the decreased crit rate and the decreased attack on everyone. We also have then Fires of Insanity. Attacks all enemies, places an Iron Mark debuff on all enemies. The higher the enemy's defense, the longer the duration of the mark. The Iron Mark debuff with a 10-turn cooldown will be placed on a champion with the highest defense. The debuff with a 6-turn cooldown will be placed on a champion with the lowest defense. The Iron Mark debuffs cannot be blocked or removed, but it doesn't say you can't resist them. We'll have to see what the boss's accuracy is. The boss cannot use this skill if his HP drops to 40% of the boss's max HP. The boss's defense is increased by 2.5%. The boss receives plus 1% to his defense for each champion whose affinity is not the same as this boss. Okay, so, I mean, that's not major. Like, depending on how much the defense the boss has, it's like 5%. But I'd imagine it's going to be pretty impactful, which is why we have that affinity rotation. So it looks like he's going to debuff you a little bit. You can obviously block these A1s with like a block debuffs. Doesn't really tell you what the Iron Mark does. Doesn't look like we can see any of the rest of the skills.
There are no pre-boss waves to take on, but these mechanical guardians will be tough to beat.
Okay, so it's just a straight boss fight. That's good. So that's a good thing, because a lot of the boss waves in Doom Tower actually are quite frustrating because of the waves you have to go through. You're getting through like Skull Lord Vargals or Daywalkers, and it kind of makes it harder to do. So this sounds like it's just like a straight up similar to a clan boss type of scenario where you go in, you know the boss. This could be speed tunable. We might see unkillable teams for this, depending on how it interacts. Okay, so those are those debuffs, Iron Brands, that are going out. So obviously you can see that the durations are changing.
Increase throughout the battle as they use their skills, and their stats grow faster for every champion on your team that doesn't match the boss's affinity. That's why the dungeon works like it does, and why affinities really matter here. On top of that, your champion's own stats affect how quickly a special debuff stacks on them, and this is a big danger. Get too many stacks, and you almost certainly won't survive the Iron.
Okay, so it looks like the Iron Brands increase. So I would imagine it's like an enrage counter where if you hit a certain level of stacks, then you could end up, I don't know, maybe detonating or dying, or maybe it triggers something on the boss.
Twins attacks. And for today, that's all we're telling you. Now, if
I mean, look how many durations there. It's 100-turn duration.
If you do manage to take these guys down, you go home with some valuable new items. Soul coins and soul essence. These things are why you came here.
Can we just have a quick discussion about how many different currencies we've got in this game now? We're getting a new key, which is going to gate the content here. Now we've got essence souls on top of our energy, silver, clan gold, bazaar gold, gold medals in the arena, Doom Tower keys, you name it, we've got it. I think we need to have a bit of a discussion about, can we combine some of these currencies to make the game a little bit more simpler?
In the first place, and once you've got some, you'll be heading straight to your bastion, to an all-new building, the Altar of Souls. This is where you'll be awakening your champions using, you guessed it, their souls. To awaken any champion, you'll need their specific soul, or parts of their soul, split up into pieces. But it has to be theirs. You can't just use Death Knight Soul to awaken Turbold, for example. In fact, you can't awaken common or uncommon champions at all. Sorry, DK, maybe someday, if you can realize your potential. So, like
spoilers.
Champions and like Ascension, souls have different numbers of stars. This is their awakening level. Each champion can be awakened through 6 levels of awakening, and the only limitation is that they can't be awakened more times than they've been ascended. There are 2 types you can use, Perfect Souls and Split Souls. Perfect Souls will awaken a champion to exactly the awakening level it says on the box. No more, no less. No hoops to jump through. Split souls, on the other hand, only have 1 star filled in bright red, easy-to-see colors. It can only be used to awaken a champion to that specific level. So, to awaken a champion to level 4 awakening with a 4-star split soul, they need to already be at level 3 awakening. So,
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. This could be very, very gacha to an extreme level. It depends on the rates of the perfect soul versus the split. But if there's not a lot of perfect souls and there's a lot of split souls, this could be incredibly frustrating because you might end up always getting like 3 stars. I hope there's some adjustments here, because if this is going to be like a lot of difficulty to get these, is it just going to be very frustrating? I don't know, but that's the only concern I have here with these split souls. The fact it needs to be the specific star. I could be holding 3 5-star split souls and they're totally useless because I can't get the 1 to 4 star.
Want souls? You've got soul coins. What do? Let's start with the perfect souls. Take your pocket full of soul.
Okay, so we get 1 to 6 star rare, epic, and legendary perfect souls, 3 to 6 star, and then 5 to 6 star. So these always give you perfect souls. Okay, so that's not too bad. Obviously, we'd probably want the eternal souls because that's going to give you epic and legendary. I don't know really if there's any value for certainly late to end game. I'm not sure, outside of some of the rares that are used for clan boss, if there's going to be any value in getting this kind of rare ascension potentially. Who knows? Maybe there's some arena gameplay that isn't released here, but certainly the epic and legend would be the ones that everyone wants.
This is where you'll spend your hard-earned soul coins to get soul stones. Grab what you want, then head straight to...
So there's actually soul stones and soul essence on top of... So we've got 3 new currencies here. So we've got soul stones that you're going to need to basically summon, traditional summoning. And then if we go back a little bit here, we're going to have these soul essences, which I'm not really sure what you do with them. And then the currency to buy these things, it looks like the thing you're going to be able to get from within this boss tower, is it? Let's take a look here. Yeah, so we get the currencies here. Yeah, so we get these currencies here, but I think we only get the silver currency at stage 15. But what about these gold coins? So I'm guessing we must get some shared value of these 2 currencies at the top here, the 5,009 and the 4,000 from the new boss. And then we're going to get like these other fragments and eternal soul essences, and then we use those to get the eternal soul stones.
Grab what you want,
it's very
then
confusing.
Head straight to the soul stone summon tab. Here you'll use those soul stones to summon, well, souls. You might notice this interface looks familiar, and you might also notice that there are 3 types of soul stones: mortal, immortal, and eternal. Summoning souls via soul stones will always give you perfect souls. The better the soul stone, the better your chances of getting higher level souls for higher rarity champions. It's similar to summoning champions. You even have a soul collection that works just like your champion collection. But there is one big difference: the wish list. There are a lot of champions in Raid.
Increases the chance of receiving souls for champions in your wish. You have 2 times chances of getting... Guys, this is a great idea. Tell you what, why don't we apply this to the normal summoning portal? Maybe I really want a specific legendary champion in my collection. I can put it in my wish list, which means anytime I summon a champion, I got twice the... This is a brilliant, brilliant added. This is probably the best thing I've seen so far in this video, if we can apply it also to the summoning portal. Now, the chances are that probably won't happen, but there are so many champions in the game right now, I should be able to have a ×2 and a ×10 combined to get the champion that I want out of the event. That's the idea. If I'm pulling shards, it might not guarantee that I get the champion, but it should 100% add this to the normal summoning.
Finding the right type of soul for the right champion sounds pretty daunting. So you'll be able to add some champs.
This is a great idea. I like this idea.
This will increase your chances of finding their perfect souls from soul stones. All right, that's perfect souls. But what about split souls?
Okay.
To get split souls, you'll need to exchange your soul essence at the soul merchant. The soul merchant will let you get the exact souls you
Another shop.
need for your champions at exactly the right level of awakening. But you'll need to check in regularly to see what's in stock.
I mean, the RNG here, you've got to imagine if you've got over 600 champions, and those champions each have 6 different levels of awakening, and they could be of different... Like, what's the chances that you're going to end up getting the specific soul for the specific point that you want? That's really, really high RNG. You know, if someone can do the math out there to figure out how many, you know, possible refreshes, it looks like it's going to refresh every day potentially. But there's so many champions in the game, I don't know whether that's really how viable this soul merchant could be.
You don't want to miss out on the exact soul you...
Especially when it's going to split it probably 4, 4, and 4. 4 epics, 4 legendaries, 4 rare. So it's not like you're going to get a full shop of legendaries. You're going to get half, a third of this window might be useless to you. Even potentially, if you're not interested in epics, 66%.
Been looking for. I can feel what you're thinking. What if I get a soul for a champion I don't have?
Obviously.
You can always keep them for later. But if you don't want to do that, just head to your soul collection and sell your soul. That sounds scary, but hear me out. They're not your souls anyway. They're your champions.
So what you're telling me is you can create a currency system where you can burn your champions into more material to summon more champions? Almost like you could burn champions instead of for life tokens, but for shards fragments, so you can then summon another champion for shards. Just saying, that was an idea that was put out there.
So why should you care? Selling souls gets you more soul coins, which you'll then use for more soul stones or soul essence, and then more souls.
I feel like this video needed a counter at the bottom. Soul. How many times this guy said the word soul?
Almost always have extra souls, so this is a nice, easy circle that helps make sure you're always moving forward on your hunt for souls.
On your souls.
All right, so once you've got your souls, you'll want to awaken your champions. Head to the Awaken tab, select your champion, choose your souls, and boom, awakened. Now it's time for the big payoff. Blessings. Once awakened,
I can just see now the Reddit post of someone pulling something here and getting a 6-star perfect soul for, I don't know, Kaimar, and then everyone's crying in their milk. It's going to happen. They've basically created Summoning 2.0 here. Now, it depends on what the blessing actually does in terms of its value or strength, but it could be insane, and it could cause, like, essentially a whole new level of gacha.
Awakened, every champion can choose to align to one of several divinities: light, dark, war, and chaos for now.
Okay.
Each divinity has their...
Well, here's one. There's a rare. So this champion will receive less damage when under stun, freeze, sleep, fear, true fear, petrification, and sheep. Are we actually going to have a sheep debuff? Dear God. I'm going to get so much hate for this for being Welsh. Honestly, I can feel the comments now bleeding into my eyes. Decreases the damage received by 25% on 4-star. So I'm guessing this is going to scale based on your blessing ascendancy. And, if you're 6-star, you get all these. That's pretty good. Like 50 resist, 400 defense, and built-in strengthen. That's really strong.
Their own blessings.
What do we got here? Partially fills this champion's turn meter whenever a debuff is placed, spread, transferred onto them. So if they ever get debuffed, they get on a 5-star, 2, 4. I'm guessing this is going to be additive. So we get to, or it could be individual, I suppose. But if it is additive, we're getting, what's it, 2, 6, a bit of basic math here, 13.
Blessings are limited by a champion's...
Oops. Obviously, I'm guessing we're going to get a full video on this. We'll get a bit of crit damage there, 15%. So we're still getting some stat padding. Each round, a number of this champion's hits will ignore a percentage of the target's defense. The percentage of ignored defense depends on the level of the target. High awakening bonus. Every hit this champion inflicts will ignore a percentage of the target's defense. Okay, if you compare this with Savage on a Rotus, you can return him to 100% ignore defense. It could change the meta.
By a champion's rare.
Increases the champion's damage inflicted by HP burn debuffs placed by this champion in the arena. High awakening bonus. I don't know what this high awakening bonus means. I'm assuming it's if you get to a certain level. Whenever a HP burn debuff placed by this champion inflicts damage on an enemy, their max HP will also be destroyed by the same amount. Only works in arena battles. Okay, big shout out here. This is exactly what you should do for arena. Don't just stat pad. This is going to change the way people approach it, because now you don't know what kind of blessings you can pick blessings. The only thing I would say is, hopefully in the arena updates they do, we need to have some sort of insight in terms of what we're going to be facing so that we can counter teams. If on defense Rotus has this, for example, and I can't afford to lose because I've got things that HP burn hurt me, maybe I bring a Cecilia so I negate this thing. We need to know in advance so that we can plan and strategize. But this is great because it means that you have to strategize and diversify your arena teams. You can't just run an OP team.
So rare champions can only receive rare blessings. Epics can have either rare or epic blessings, and legendary champions can choose any blessing they want.
Okay, that's a bit of a risk because obviously if the legendary blessings are really, really OP, it's going to put more power into legendaries already. We already have empowerment overpowering legendaries. We'll have to see.
Each champion can only choose a single blessing. So picking the right blessing for your usage is
Damn
key.
that Sheep Debuff.
There are 6 levels of blessings, but we made it easy. You don't have to upgrade them.
Okay, so it looks like they stack. Bonus damage inflicted, attack. Gains 1 lightning orb stack whenever an enemy receives a buff or has their turn meter filled. Lightning orb stacks have a 75% chance to protect a random buff from being stolen, removed, or transferred. Bonus damage inflicted by each lightning orb. So the lightning orb must be a new buff or debuff.
They're all simply
Speed plus 10%.
Awaken
Plus 10, that's
6
strong.
Times, and they'll have access to the level 6 benefits of any blessing they choose. And that's Awakening in a nutshell. Told you, it's big. But that's not everything. We're also bringing out a new type of event for special occasions. Deck of Fate.
So just on that blessings there, just a quick summary. I think that's great. We obviously need more detail. Balancing might be tricky around certain things. Is it going to put a lot more power into legendaries? Is there going to be super OP blessings? Obviously, acquiring the blessings might take some time. We don't really know. Are they going to sell the actual summoning materials for these blessings? Is that going to create a pay-to-win model? We don't really know. But I think in terms of a creative idea to try and find more ways to make Arena interesting and make the gameplay engaging, 10 out of 10. This is brilliant, except for the sheep. This looks familiar. Is that a Litecoin I see? Okay. And those objectives. Okay.
Fate points from a bunch of in-game activities, like raiding dungeons, leveling up champions, opening shards, the usual stuff. You'll then use those fate points to flip cards. Whatever you flip over, you get to keep as a reward. But there's another layer. There are 3 rarities of cards, and if fate is on your side and you flip 3 cards of the same rarity one after another, you'll get a bonus reward. A fate chest containing a bunch of awesome items. These Deck of Fate events will be used to get more from your everyday raiding, which is something we think everyone can get behind. Keep an eye out for the first event later this year. Those are the 2.
It's a legendary book there, guys. Everyone who's free to play, go crazy. Legendary book. I don't know about this. It feels a bit RNG-ish, but hey, if you farm up all your Litecoins, you could have a pretty cool drinking game here. Every time you get a rare, take I don't know, a swig of water. Every time you get a legendary, take a shot of alcohol. I don't know, it could be fun.
Big features we wanted to talk about today, but here's a bit of eye candy before we finish.
The following items are available on flipping cards in this event. So we've got some chickens, some gems, energy. I mean, it's not that much. It depends on how much effort you have to do to get 60,000 Litecoins, which is their example there. And it was, 1,500 to flip all those cards? I mean, that's a lot of energy to farm to basically get nothing. This could just be placeholder rewards. I hope so, because this is disappointing.
First, champion skins. We've got more in the pipeline, and we think you barbarian fans out there are going to love them, including this more literal spin on everyone's favorite warrior queen, Syl of the Drakes. And as always, we've got more champions coming.
Of course we have new champions.
Here.
It's an awesome claymore.
Most of these are in their final stages.
Whoa, is that like a weird bug at the back of him? That's creepy.
Of development, so you'll be seeing them popping out of shards sooner rather than later. Let us know what kind of champions you'd like to see added in the future in the comments. We've been listening to your feedback, and we will do justice to some community favorites very soon. That's everything. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to catch more raid videos as soon as they come out. Until next time, good luck and happy raiding.
Wow, guys, I mean, that is a much more juicier what's next than I've seen in a long time. I really think that could change the way the arena is going to work. I mean, this is what Cirilla hinted in the interview. Obviously, we need more details to understand the cost elements, how quickly do those keys refresh, how many times can we run it in a day, what's the odds, the difficulty, all the different things, the details behind all these events. There's a risk, obviously, that you put more power into legendaries. I'm not really that kind of crazy about the deck of cards, but it's an event, it's different. At least it's not the same old rubbish that we get in terms of, I say rubbish, it's not the same events we get every time. They're trying to change the events up. I appreciate the effort, and it is something different. Hopefully those rewards are a bit better, because if I have to rely on landing 3 in a row, that could be either a really good investment of my energy or it could be awful, and I don't really want to RNG my energy and resource investment. In terms of the new champions, those look amazing as always, artwork. The bug one is creeping me out, and if you've been watching this far, please don't do any sheep jokes in the comments below. I appreciate kindly. I will be back tomorrow with a Tellurian Trials update video just to see where we are on the numbers. It has jumped a lot since my video that I released yesterday. I kind of like was on an iron about re-recording it because it had jumped a lot, but I'm going to give it another go tomorrow so we can see where we are in the points. But yeah, this looks exciting. No news on when it's coming out soon. I'm guessing it's going to be sometime before the end of the year. These videos normally give us about 3 to 6 months worth of content, so hopefully we'll start seeing some of this in the next couple of months. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm sure Hellhades has already done a reaction to this as well. You're kind of going to get reactions from me and reactions from Hellhades going forward, just to give you different perspectives. We are different players, we have different opinions. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you in the next video.